it's Mark Bixby again from DKB Fitness in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And this is the fourth and final installment, at least for now, of our series of active, mobile, powerful hips and the way that that sort of translates into other parts of our body and tight tissue areas as well. Now, all of us have done some form of static mobility where we do our shoulder circles and our hip circles and our ankle circles standing in place. Which is great. It's certainly a great way to get started. But then there are also more dynamic ways that we can approach our mobility where we're actually putting ourselves in motion. And at least to my mind, and there's some studies that back it up, people's mobility tends to increase better when they actually put things in motion as opposed to just standing in one place. So with that in mind, in this fourth installment, we're going to look at some active hip and, as you'll see, other area mobility sequences that you can play with on the floor. Some of the primal MoveNat style patterns that maybe some of you have seen before, maybe put together in a little bit different combination here. If you remember, a couple of times ago we did a dynamic hip sequence where we were popping the knees up towards the shoulders, and we can very easily translate that move down to the floor into a crawling sequence. With all of the Spartan races and Tough Mudders that a lot of people like to do now, this is a great thing to do with clients because this will really help them as they're having to go under barbed wire, through mud, etc. when they're doing those races. So it looks something like this. I'm going to get down and I'm going to be in a position where one knee is close to one elbow. This is going to be what we call contralateral movement. I'm going to be moving opposite sides at one time. So what I mean there is I'm going to move my left knee forward as I move my right hand forward so that I've got this opposites working. It will allow me to keep a straighter line. You can see here the similarity between this and the dynamic stretch I just showed you. I'm pulling my knee up towards the shoulder. So with that in mind, I'm going to basically start crawling, working hip flexion and hip extension at the same time, staying low to the floor, and getting a really awesome mobilization benefit in the hips while having to link my whole body to the movement. So I like to crawl down the surface, and then just to make sure that I get sort of both sides of things, I like to come back on my back. So the next move is going to be similar. I'm going to start with one heel close to the butt, the other leg's extended. Because we're going to work contralateral movement, those opposites, basically my anchor points are going to be a heel and the opposite shoulder, and I'm going to use my hips to push myself through the movement. Then I bring the left foot up over the right shoulder, and I can propel myself across the floor mat, opening things up, getting a nice exercise benefit and a real functional move as well. From there, pop into my squat position and work on some more sort of deep squat moves that will also put in motion to help my hip flexibility, which is going to benefit me in lots of ways. So I'm going to start down in my deep squat, and then from here all I'm going to do is come forward on the balls of my feet, put my hands down, and then pull my hands back, reestablish my deep squat. Roll forward, pull, roll forward, pull, roll forward, pull, and just like that. From there, the next sequence is going to be starting from a Cossack Squat, and I'm going to do the same idea. I'm going to move myself down the floor and back, but I'm going to make it a little bit more of an intense hip stretch. So I'm going to start with one heel, instep and ankle down, knee is down. If you feel this in the inside of this knee, you're not ready for this, so do the last stretch that I showed you for a while first, and you'll open up. The other leg is going to be externally rotated, and from here, just like you saw me do, I'm going to crawl down the floor, and then reset the position, crawl down the floor, reset the position, crawl down, reset, and then I can switch, so I come up here and drop down here, and now I can go the other way. Dropping the knee down and the foot, crawling back and forth. Awesome. And then finally, I can put a lot of things together: shoulders, spine, hip, foot, ankle, knee, so that I can actually make those same stretches happen and add a bit of a roll to it. So we know in the RKC we do the Egyptian mobility stretch. But the interesting thing to know about that is as we bring ourselves into internal rotation, the shoulder drops down and it actually gives me a good surface to roll over. So I can practice that stretch by coming over and putting the back of the shoulder down, coming over and putting the back of the shoulder down, and eventually I can just roll over with very little effort. The shoulder move propels me forward. Okay? So if I want to combine that, I can start in a Cossack squat, just like I just did. I can get ready for my shoulder position. Please use your hands here until you get used to this. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to come forward on the foot, drop one knee down. After that knee comes down, the same side shoulder comes down. I roll, I come up, and now I'm going to switch the Cossack squat position. Now the left knee comes down, left shoulder down, and then I come up and I switch again. And we can make that real nice and slow and controlled, or we can eventually add some speed to it and make this really active and fun. And then finally, if I'm going to roll over forward, I want to be able to roll over backwards as well. So the last position, I'm going to get set up in a figure 4 position, nice tall posture, the right knee standing. From this figure 4 position, if I want to roll over, I'm going to throw this knee over this shoulder and come back to my figure 4 position. And then to make this a hip stretch, I will switch figure 4 position. Now the left knee is up, and I'm going to roll over the left knee and come back, establish the figure 4, switch the figure 4, come back over the right side, and then back over the left. So you can see from a low crawl on the stomach to a low crawl on the back to a squatting moving position, and then finally to a squatting moving rolling position. You can see how all those things come together to produce a really dynamic mobilization, coordination drill that's a lot of fun and will loosen you up everywhere you need to be loosened up. Thanks so much, folks, for watching all 4 of these hip installments, and any questions, shoot me an email. Thank you.